Hey, it's John Nolan here. One of the most important things in my life is the health and the well-being of my family. And one of the products that we absolutely love to use and have had amazing results with is Z-Stack. It's Dr. Zelenko's Immunobooster, and it really does the job absolutely well. Now, as most of you know, Dr. Zelenko recently passed away, but he's left behind a legacy with Z-Stack and his other products, and also the Dr. Zelenko Freedom Foundation. So every time you purchase Z-Stack to help boost your immune system and the immune system of your family, 10% of the profits will also automatically go to the Freedom Foundation. So I encourage you to check it out, Z-Stack by Dr. Zelenko. Use the link and the coupon code in the description, save, and also help the foundation. Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, thank you so much for joining us for an inspired conversation today. My name is John Nolan, and today I have two very special guests. They are revolutionizing their region by doing what they do, and inspired. This whole conversation was actually inspired because we met at the previous Yada retreat. They were two participants, and we had the pleasure to meet them, work with them, and get to know them. And later they told us, hey, we're doing some amazing things down here in Sarasota. And I know so many of you are always asking us, where are groups of like-minded people? How can we create groups? How can we meet? How can we do synergies and all those things? So please welcome with me, Jess Char from the Sarasota Freedom Friends. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So it's so good to see you again. Yes. So good to see you. Thanks for asking us on.
Yes.
Oh,
honor. Thank you, John.
The honor is all ours. And as I said, you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Yep.
And I think this is so important. You know, you got to walk the talk. And a lot of the things that we talked about, you know, in the Yado afternoons or when we weren't working was about creating groups, was about bringing people together, was about like-minded people, actually creating new structures, new system. And you're just doing it. So tell us a little bit about the Sarasota Freedom Friends and how you do what you do and why you do it.
Okay, well, I've been here about 16 months. I'll be quick from California. I left California with whatever I had left in my car after having homes and things like that. It was just the thing that I was drawn and led to do. And as I drove across the country, I listened to many truthers. And so I was listening to Pam Popper, Dr. Kristin Northrup at the time, among others. And they said, have a potluck on Thursday night. And I thought, breaking bread with like-minded people, your family, new people. And I knew basically one person here, and I'd known them for 2 weeks. Right. So I got here, they introduced Jess and I. And one of the first things that I said was, do you want to come over? Can we get the people that like I just met and have a potluck? Because I used to grow up with potlucks when I was a kid in the church. So that's how it began. And we outgrew it before it even got to my house. We went to Jess's house, and that's where we started about over a year ago?
A little over a year. I moved to Florida about 3 years ago, right before the pandemic hit. And we were self-employed at the time. And so once the pandemic hit, we were forced not to be able to make any income. So that woke us up real quick to figure like what is really going on. I think both Charlotte and I know a lot about how your immune system works and natural health. And so we knew something bigger was happening. And so one of the people who were an artist at our store knew me and knew about our story. And then she was the one that actually introduced Charlotte and I together. And that's how, we started the group. We started having it at my house at first because about the room, and then it quickly grew. So we needed more space. And the business that we actually had was furniture. We had tables. So it was enough room to fit everybody. And then our other friends who were helping with us, Millie and Frank, they started the Telegram channel that we have, and they put it out there, I guess, to come. It was, again, all organically. Mm-hmm. We had really no idea what we were doing. We were just kind of following our instincts and follow our higher guidance. And then we walk into the store, and all these,
the first time we walk in and we're like,
all these people started showing up.
I mean, it was great. Filled, and the plates were filled and the tables were filled.
People are bringing food, and it was amazing feeling, and like-minded people, and all these other people moving down to Florida who didn't know, right? Other people who were like-minded. And it was just such a wonderful experience. And then it just kept growing, and we would meet different people to have for speakers. And I can't even remember exactly. It wasn't really plotted out. It just kept happening. And we kept basically saying, yes, like, let's try this. Let's try this.
And we ended up having some really long people that have been in the, freedom movement, so to speak, for, decades, which we knew nothing. I knew nothing about. Mm-hmm. So these are people that are trying to change the school system and get the pornography out of the schools. Keith Faw, Florida Citizen Alliance, and then, the TAP community, which I know I've mentioned to you and Kristin. They're a huge group down here. And what's wild, being from California originally, there was all of these other Californians, and we live right along here on this west side of the Gulf. Mm-hmm. So there's no question in my mind that it's all synchronistic. And once they heard about our little potluck, right, they were like, yeah, they brought somebody else. So it literally has grown from one house to one store. And then we were invited into a place called the Hollow. And that's where we are now in Venice, California. And it's a sacred place. It's a beautiful place. You'll be visiting it on Zoom soon. Oh, yeah. And I just want to tell one quick little story, how hungry people are to just join like-minded people where they can hug and they can look at, they can share experiences, what they're doing in the court systems, what they're doing in the medical systems. We've got nurses, we've got all kinds of people that will share how to build your own hydroxychloroquine and healers. And our last meeting was at the Hollow, and we are in our rainy season. And rain doesn't describe what happens here. Yeah. It's like tornado season. And we walked in, and this whole place, I'm thinking, we're not going to have the meeting today. There's no way. And the roof is dripping. We had orange buckets from Home Depot, like I can do it buckets.
Yeah. I know those buckets.
Those buckets. And we had the biggest amount or the largest crowd we've ever had sitting in this rainy room with buckets, listening to everything that we had to share and then raising money for, what we do. So,
and I think too, what was nice is with these buckets and all, everybody who was coming, we're chipping in, everybody's grabbing a bucket, trying to make sure all the food is not getting wet and everything that was going on. Every time we have a meeting, the amount of people that come up, like somebody just anonymously donated a microphone and a speaker for us to use. We just had so many people that just want to come and to help each other. And what we try to do too is support the small businesses around in Sarasota. Sarasota and Venice are like right basically next to each other, the town over. And Nokomis and Osprey, so we're all like kind of right in there. And so we try to like have people speak about that. We give everybody a couple minutes in the beginning if they have projects that they're working on and they want to have, help or try to get volunteers, and then let everybody know where they are in that progress. But again, it's just each meeting we kind of learn a little bit more, and then we just keep meeting amazing people and opportunities like meeting you guys. And then we never thought we would be, on your YouTube. That wasn't even crossing our mind when we went to that retreat, which was so amazing. And it just keeps growing from there. And definitely our friend Ken,
over at
TAP, he has been a godsend, really brought us some amazing truther speakers to come. So we do everything from, we've had truthers on there to just self-sufficiency, like learning about,
we had Jim Gale on.
Jim Gale for the forest. What is that?
Food forest abundance. Yeah.
That's awesome. We have people who, apothecary, like how to do natural in that way. Like you're saying, the hydroxychloroquine, the guy, from the school systems. We've had local, politicians who want to speak and kind of say what's going on. We've been to, I've never been to a school board meeting here before, and we went to them. So we're just really expanding, and I think because we're just so open to, whoever wants to help us. We don't know, we didn't know what we were doing, but people just came and it just kept growing and growing. And our last meeting with all that rain was the biggest meeting that we had. So it's just been a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. And I also think bonding together, coming together, building communities, helping each other, it runs in America's blood. It's like it's something that comes so natural, and people want to do it. Oftentimes, I think the fear has been politics, division, and all that stuff. And people are beginning to understand and see through groups like yours that we can transcend these perceived divisions and limitations. We're actually all pretty much on the same team. I know a big topic for you guys is freedom. It's like you say, local businesses, local communities, because that's where you can have the greatest impact, right? And I think it's like Jim Gale from Food Forest Abundance, our mutual friend, says beautifully always. He says, a time whose ideas come. And I think as the world tries to lead everyone into more globalism and more out there, it's important to really look to your neighbors. So I think it's amazing what you do. And I know it's growing organically and a lot of elements are coming together. But what is sort of the long-term vision? Is it also to really create almost like a in-house economy, grow food together? Is all of that part of the vision to really create self-sufficiency together?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got, several of our members. We don't really have members. You come and you go as you want to come and go. But who, like Jess said, I mean, whoever wants to get up, we have some guy, over by a golf course, but you're not supposed to have chickens and microgreens and this and that. And he's teaching, you can do a subscription thing. Mm-hmm. So he has all different kinds of businesses. So it really is like sometimes in the barter system, and we're not quite there yet, but I'll tell you something, I can guarantee you that if somebody had it, like we're in mango season now here, right? And like mangoes are falling on the ground. So we had people bring bucketfuls of mangoes. And I heard
last year, I remember that.
Yeah, Max Egan talking about we just got to do this different. I mean, there's food. There's an abundance of food. Mm-hmm. So long term, I'm a big believer in the surrender experiment. And I think the surrender experiment has been leading us into the next location, the next group, the next opportunity. So definitely food is definitely on our mind, and we can grow here all year round. Getting people up to speak about what they do, their businesses, their services, that sort of thing. I mean, we have no lack of people wanting to be a part of this and to be heard, right? Mm-hmm. And also to share what they do. So it is also a parallel economy. It is also a parallel, almost like, I don't want to say a medical system, but if you needed like one of our girls, which is an RN, and we called up Brox, right? If we called up Brox, we said, hey, somebody needs you, she'd be up and go see them.
I just used her the other day because a friend of mine, she hurt her toe and she didn't want to have to go to the hospital. She didn't have to go. So I called up Roxanne and was like, hey, can you get in contact with her? Mm-hmm. And she did. So yeah, it's been a beautiful family experience too. Mm-hmm. So that sense of community that we have. But I think, the whole idea that, Charlotte originated the idea, and to breaking bread together and everybody bringing their dishes. It just has been so warming and welcoming. So many people just come to Florida looking for this freedom, and we're providing it for them. But we didn't even know that was even going to happen. We just had no idea. But also, especially I think too, like with the freedom and health, and also right after lockdown and all those things, mental health, like just be there together and just, we've had plenty of people that we've talked to after, the meeting or whatever. And they're just, they weren't sure, like, how do I get out there? How do I feel good about myself again? How do I feel, get up every day and not know what the future, even for us, like everything, especially now, the way things are chaotic and the inflation and prices of homes here and even, rental units are so high here in Sarasota. And we're like, okay, we have to talk each other off the ledge sometime. Like, okay, we're doing okay, but it's a little scary. So we both actually just said that we've never had friend groups like we have here in Sarasota. We love our life. We love our friends. So, and a lot of it is because of these meetings. So we recommend anybody who wants to do it, definitely
start in your apartment, start in your garden, invite somebody over for dinner. Mm-hmm. The whole premise of this, Jean, was I just wanted to meet some people of some sort of like mind, so I could finally come down from that long trip and my decision to leave my home of California. It's like leaving a different country and say, is anybody out here feeling the same way? Do you want to have dinner together? That's all it was. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to that I didn't even know.
Well, I also think we have now had 2.5 years of very digital communication. It's kind of intense, everybody kind of got online and it works. We can talk. It's all wonderful. But as we experienced, at the retreat together, nothing compares to being together, to, having the energy in a room, having conversation face to face. We're social beings. Yes. And it's time to realize this has never been a replacement. This might be an addition to our ability to communicate. But I think it's so important because what happens when people get together is powerful. Hearts are activated, souls activated, the mind's activated, ideas flow in a good time, and just, community, love. It's really, really important. So what do you think if someone says, hey, I'm in a small town, I don't really have space. Have you guys noticed or experienced that people are kind of ready to open up their spaces if they have them? Or if you just come with the idea and say, hey, have you heard about this? Let's talk about this, or let's just have coffee. Did you see any hesitation of people? Was it more like, no, let's just come together, and if it doesn't happen here, we'll have a space there?
Well, that's how this started. What's fascinating is, and there have been many times, I will admit that I thought, why am I doing this? I've got 2-3 jobs, I've got this whole thing going, which I will say is the most fruitful part of my life, is this what we're doing. And no question about it. And many people that come down here from Canada that have been able to get across the border, they've said, we've been looking for this, please don't stop. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like, how did this? We're still in amazement of it. But yes, I think definitely people are certainly open, and they loved the idea of being a part of it and helping out with it in any way that they can. So yeah, everybody we've talked to are like, yeah, you kind of can feel out who's, on this, in our, we say. And so it just depends. And you start kind of that conversation, and we all know it, right? 2.5 years in, like who is kind of picking up on what you're saying and who isn't. But I think it's interesting too, like we've met so many people who different stages of where they are in this, like, medical freedom. Not everybody knew, right? We have people who didn't understand about the vaccines and how they were affected. They didn't understand that kind of stuff. So, you just kind of feel that out, and then we educate them along the way.
I think and I've said this many times, I think it's the greatest alliance in human history, and it's the Alliance for Freedom. That's all, just freedom. It's just about freedom. We don't have to agree on a fine print. So Jess and Char, if people want to get in touch with you, join one of the meetings, or, become a regular and support you, how can they do that?
You can find us on our website, which is sarasotafreedomfriends.org. Mm-hmm. You can go on there, and we have a contact, read it. We've got inspired on there. We have different things that we are looking into. So you can join us through sarasotafreedom.org. And Jess and I have started our own coaching platforms. So what are our platforms?
Yeah, so we're, our platforms, we're just in the beginning stages. So what our idea was that we've been doing this now for a little over a year, and we've had really great success on bringing people together and enhancing their lives in that way. So we wanted to do it on our coaching platform too. It's called My Best Life SRQ, which is the call letters for Sarasota from the airport. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that and kind of just using our life experiences. And then other people, again, we're going to reach out to people in the community who have expertise in all kinds of natural health and different things, and just easy, simple ways to help people, again, to live a better life. So that one is our new platform. We just started. So we have it on Facebook. It's My Best Life SRQ, Instagram, My Best Life SRQ. And we're still figuring it out and getting our website together for that, which will, again, be mybestlifesrq.com once we get that up and running.
Well, wonderful. And congratulations on doing something that is so important. And everyone who's watching, please reach out. Just look at what they're doing. If you're in the area, join them, stop by, bring a dish, when they break bread, and be courageous enough to speak up. These are wonderful ladies that I had the pleasure to meet. And I can only imagine the greater group and how heartwarming the whole experience is and how important it is for our times. So please, if you've been putting this off and thinking, hey, I can do this next year. No, today's the day. We need to build these communities everywhere. Local is absolutely the future. And when we're connected locally, when we have a strong bond in the community, that is unbreakable. That is literally the strongest defense against any oppressor. So thank you so much again, Jess and Char, for joining us today. SarasotaFreedomFriends.org. Go check it out and start your own group, and connect with people. This is the time. Thank you again, ladies. It was my honor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And Inspire Tribe, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll be back with you again very, very soon.